worn and battered, I will stay. Keep treading as I'm treading the waves. My hands are tied, but I will make it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sports Talk Podcast with Brandon and Travis. Thank you for taking the time to listen today. As I like to start off every show, I want to remind you to please go follow us on Twitter at SportsTalkCast1, at SportsTalkCast1. I'd appreciate it. Go follow the page. You can also search us on Facebook. And as you all know, you may find us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and iHeartRadio. I appreciate you guys tuning in and listening. Today we got a good show. We're going to talk about what everybody's been talking about again. A fight that I want to say that I don't think will ever happen, but the fight between Conor McGregor and Floyd Mayweather. We're going to talk about that. I got a little clip here I want to play you first about Conor, the trash talk that went back and forth between Conor and Floyd, and we're going to get into some discussion here. So without further ado, here's the clip of Conor and Floyd's trash talk, a little 2-minute clip to start the show off.
It's a boxing match, and I've already said no problem, get my fucking money, and when you get my money, then we can box in this boxing match under these set of specific rules that will keep you alive. I'm here. Where's my money? You keep dropping my name and you haven't got the money, then I'm going to show up at your front door. So we'll see. But Floyd does not want a fight. Floyd wants a match under a specific set of rules. I don't need rules.
You win the fight on Saturday, Conor. What's next? Would you focus your attention maybe on Floyd Mayweather? There's rumors out there that he's willing to give up $50 million if you fight.
50 million. Yeah, I told him the price tag on that, so he knows the price tag, so he's got to run around the Showtime offices and gather that money. And then we'll talk.
I'm the two-weight world champion in the biggest organization in free fighting period. There's no limitations where I come from. Floyd's not ready for this. Much respect to Floyd, he's a solid businessman, what he has been able to do. But as far as real fighting, Floyd don't want none of this. He wants a boxing match. He doesn't want a fight. I want the 100 million cash to fight him. Conor McGregor fight. You didn't see it, or? No. I didn't know Conor undefeated. I didn't know that he had a reign in MMA for 20 years and undefeated and was world champion in 5 different weight classes. That's something I didn't know. You saying he's the Floyd Mayweather of the MMA? I'm trying to find out. Have you ever made 300 million in one night? Have you ever made 100 million in one night? Never compare Conor McGregor to me. That's a total disrespect. Once again, I'm an elephant. Elephant don't beef with ants. You know, elephant is so large you don't even see ants.
Conor, what up? How are you? So I got Floyd yesterday, right? He said he didn't see your fight. Do you believe him? You believe him? He compared you to an ant. He said he's an elephant. Time to say it to my face. All right, bro. Hey, dude, I love you in New York, my friend. And congratulations, by the way.
That was the clip right there. A lot of trash talk has been going on between these two. And, you know, I'm going to tell you straight up, anybody that knows me, anybody who's heard me talk earlier, I'm the biggest fan of Conor McGregor in the world. Mystic Mac's my dude. Mystic Mac is the reason that I got back in the UFC. I'm very excited about the fight card Sunday. We're going to remind you, before we get into this, my boy, the prodigy, BJ Penn, back in action. I'm a little worried about him. Last time we seen BJ Penn in the UFC octagon, he was getting his ass kicked. But hopefully BJ really took the training serious, and hopefully BJ comes out and he can get a victory. BJ Penn was my dude. He was the whole reason I ever watched UFC was because of BJ Penn. I'm going to be super thrilled to see him fight Sunday. But Conor McGregor is the reason I got back in the UFC, because Conor McGregor is a bad mother. You know what? There's nobody in UFC that hung with Conor McGregor rather than Nate Diaz so far, and that's when Conor moved up in the weight class to fight Diaz, and Diaz his own weight class. We all know Conor has losses on his record. Conor has 3 losses, 21 wins, 3 losses, and guess what about Conor? Conor, those 3 losses are by submission. Well, guess what? If he was to box Floyd Mayweather, there'd be no submitting in this match. Here's the deal. Floyd's pushing 40 years old. 40 years old. We've seen Conor fight in the MMA now with 21 wins. 18 of them by knockout. That left-hand shot. He's only got 2 that he had to win by decision, and the one was the last against Nate Diaz at a weight class that Conor McGregor don't belong to. So let me tell you this. Conor McGregor will not wipe the floor with Floyd Mayweather, but he will beat Floyd Mayweather, and he would knock Floyd Mayweather out. And here's why he would knock Floyd out. Floyd has no knockout power. Floyd has no knockout power. And you guys are sitting there thinking, oh, Floyd's knocked people out. Floyd's knocked people out. What's he talking about? Floyd's got 26 KOs. Look at the records. He's got four legit knockouts where the guy was on the canvas, knocked out. The rest of Floyd's fights were stopped by TKOs. So out of all 49 fights, all 387 rounds that Floyd has fought in his career, he's only put 4 bodies on the ground. Now, I will not take away from Floyd that back in his heyday, he could throw punches like crazy. He had the speed. He's the greatest defensive boxer in the history of boxing. He had the speed. He had the moves. He could get by, and he get those TKOs because he just wear people out. Because Floyd does dance around the ring. He dances around the ring, makes people chasing the entire 12 rounds, and they get tired chasing Floyd. Hey, Floyd's great on his cardio, but the man makes everybody chase him. They punch themselves out trying to get to Floyd, and they don't get hard body shots on Floyd. They don't hit Floyd on the face. But they have to be in the defensive while you're chasing Floyd too, because Floyd can reach out and tap you. Floyd could knock somebody out back 5, 6, 7 years ago. But Floyd Mayweather now? Floyd Mayweather pushing 40 years old? Floyd Mayweather hasn't knocked a person out and put him on the canvas since 2011. 2011 was the last time Floyd took anybody's lights out. Back to the TKO thing about Floyd. Here's what Floyd would do. If you watch Floyd boxing, Floyd was the greatest defensive. He is. He's the greatest defensive boxer. He'd chuck it, drive it around, move those feet around. He'd take a couple hits here and there. He'd back around. He'd come back around. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Man, he'd just be popping them. He was quick. Floyd is quick. But there's nothing behind those punches that Floyd throws. And now pushing 40 years old, I can guarantee you there's even less behind those punches than what he was throwing just 5 years ago. That man had chance after chance to put Manny Pacquiao away, injured Manny Pacquiao away, and he couldn't even put Manny away. And we all know that Manny Pacquiao has been knocked out. So here's the thing. Floyd got those TKOs, all right? Why he got those TKOs was because repeated punches, person got defenseless, ref stepped in, that was the end, Floyd won. But here's the thing. If he fights Conor, he's going to get lots of shots in on McGregor. He will. He will do his thing, defense, box around. He'll bounce around and pop, pop, pop. Get Conor a couple times. Pop, pop, pop. Get him a couple times. But here's the thing. Those shots that he's hitting Conor with are going to feel like nothing except little bee stings to Mystic Mac. Because Floyd Mayweather doesn't hit harder than anybody that Conor's facing in the UFC. You think Floyd Mayweather hits harder than Nate Diaz? Even with bigger ounce weights gloves on? Nate Diaz hits harder than Floyd Mayweather. How many shots right to the chin did Conor McGregor take from Nate Diaz? Come on. Conor could take a hit. He protects himself well, but he could take a hit. He's a tough Irish son of a bitch. And here's the thing. When Conor and Floyd, I don't think it will ever happen, but it's so fun to talk about. Because if it ever happens, here's how I see it going down. You see Floyd bouncing around, all cocky, arrogant. Bop, 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 bop. First couple rounds, bop, bop. Just, Conor really don't touch him. Floyd's going to get some hits on him. First couple rounds probably going to go to Floyd. Then Conor's going to start to get pissed off, and he's going to say, I'm tired of messing with this guy. He's talked so much crap. So watch what I'm going to do here. He's going to charge at Floyd, which nobody's ever charged at Floyd before because they were scared about power that Floyd never possessed. Floyd never possessed power ever. Conor will charge at Mayweather, get that left hand ready, and pop Mayweather with the left hand, and Floyd's going to be like, whoa, I've never been hit like that before. Before he's even ready, he's going to get countered with the right, And the left's going to come around again, and it's going to drop Floyd, and that's the whole ball game. That's the whole boxing match right there. Conor will knock Floyd Mayweather out if they were to have this match, if it ever was to happen. So let's go into Floyd's thing a little bit. Floyd has been a WBA Super World Welterweight, a Super World Welterweight, and a World Super Welterweight. Boxing titles get me all jacked up here. And he was a WBC World Welterweight. Here's his last couple fights. He fought Andre Berto. I probably butchered that name, but exactly why? Because he was a nobody. Boxing is dead. Boxing is dying while UFC and MMA is thriving, by the way. Nobody's heard of this guy. He was supposedly 30-3 before he fought Floyd. And Floyd won that one by unanimous decision. And then he fought Manny, who is 57-5-2. Manny was hurt. Arm was hurt. Manny still went on for the fight for the money. And guess what? He won by unanimous decision. Then he fought Marios Rene Maduna. 35-4 was this man's record. Guess what? Floyd beat him up. Unanimous decision. Still didn't knock this man out. Then he fought the same guy again in 2014 and got a majority decision. That's why he had a rematch with him in 14. He fought Saul Alvarez, who is 42-0-1, by majority decision. Majority decision. Look at this. 14-13 majority. He fought Robert Guerrero. Who the hell is Robert Guerrero? Unanimous decision. Miguel Cotto. I butchered that one too. I'm sorry. But he won by unanimous decision. I'll give Floyd that one. That was back in 2012. He's a good boxer. I'll give Floyd that one. Victor Ortiz. KO Victor Ortiz. That's 2011, folks. That was the last time. An older Shane Mosley that he fought back in 2010 in unanimous decision. Couldn't even knock the old man out. Just look at all these. Oscar De La Hoya split decision. I remember that one. I don't know if it's a De La Hoya. I want De La Hoya to win that one, but hey. I won't take anything away from Floyd. Floyd is going to go down as one of the greatest boxers of all time. He's definitely the greatest defensive boxer of all time. He has speed. But when it comes to it now, Floyd, you're pushing 40 years old. And you're all about the money. But you're also about your legacy. You want to talk about your legacy and how you're the greatest of all time. You're like Rocky Mariano. Undefeated. Well, guess what? If you was to fight Conor McGregor, son, you're not going to be undefeated anymore because Conor McGregor will knock you out. Now let's talk about Conor real fast. Everybody, you know that Conor's my boy. Conor has 21 wins. 3 losses. His last win was against Eddie Alvarez. And guess what he did? Knocked him out. Nate Diaz, majority decision. Like I said, he bumped up in weight class to fight Diaz. Before that, he lost to Diaz. But guess what? Jose Aldo, longest reigning champ in UFC history. Man held the belt longer than Obama was in office. KO'd him. 13 seconds. Who remembers that? Excuse me. KO'd him first round. 13 seconds. Chad Mendez is a tough son of a gun. Has a chin. He does. Conor said he didn't, but he does. Chad Mendez, if you know Chad, he has a chin. Second round knockout. Knocked out Chad Mendez. Dennis Seaver has some age on him. We got it. But Dennis Seaver, old man Seaver, still a tough son of a gun, knocked him out. Second round. Excuse me. I'm sorry I'm battling a head cold, but I wanted to do this podcast. It's been a minute since I put one out, so bear with me if you hear some sniffling and stuff. He also fought Max Holloway, who is now the interim champ. He beat Max in the third round. Unanimous decision. If you watch that fight, He dominated Max. And if you guys remember, here's the thing or two that I wanted to mention out about this. You guys all say that Floyd's defensive dances around, he's boring to watch. I mean, I like watching Floyd box. I think that what he does is artistic. I think that he's fun to watch. That's boxing. I mean, Muhammad Ali was a dancer. He was a defensive. I mean, Muhammad Ali had power. The only thing, Muhammad Ali had a lot more power than what Floyd Mayweather ever has. But here's the thing. You guys remember when Conor faced Nate back on August 20th, 2016? How could you forget that at the Garden, the rematch? Nate. I'm sorry, that fight was at the Garden. I was sitting here, I was like, was that fight at the Garden? It might have been at the Garden. Okay, I'll have to look that up. But anyhow, when he fought Nate, the Garden, Las Vegas, wherever the hell it was, I watched the fight. But he danced around a little bit and played some defensive posture himself in that fight. He didn't try to charge Nate. He wore Nate out. Nate chased him around. He wore Nate Diaz out in that fight too. Nate would chase him. Boom, boom. He'd get a couple pops in. Nate got his fair share, but it was a hell of a fight. But you know why Conor won that fight? Because he played Nate Diaz. He made Nate chase him around. And people was first, the crowd would boo Conor some in that fight, and because Conor was dancing, moving. But guess what? That's how he beat Diaz, folks. He wore Diaz out. Diaz chased that man. And when he would chase him and get tired and pop back up, bam, bam, bam. And those shots from the right and the left of McGregor, they sting. A lot more than what Floyd Mayweather, at pushing 40 years old, shot would sting right now. But let me give Nate Diaz something though. Nate Diaz could take a freaking punch off. Nate Diaz has a chin like nobody else I've ever freaking seen before. So that is why Diaz didn't get knocked out by Conor. Because Nate Diaz has the Nate Diaz has the toughest chin, I think, in MMA, maybe to Conor. Conor might have a tougher chin. Both of them got hell of chins. They could take hell of shots. Excuse me. Had to get a drink of water. Sorry about that. But like I said, Floyd's pushing 40. Yeah. Floyd's been fighting all his life. Yeah, Floyd will dance around Conor, make him silly. But here's the thing, boxing fans that say that Floyd will beat Conor. Go watch McGregor's fights. Go watch Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2. And tell me that Conor can't hang with Floyd. It's crazy. It's ludicrous. Because Conor will take punches from Floyd all rounds long. And it's only going to take one left-hand shot to send Floyd back off his rocker. Be like, damn. And pop, pop. He's down. Legacy of Mayweather undefeated? Nope. He's going to go down as the legacy of the man who went 49-0 and then got knocked out by not even really professional boxer, an MMA fighter, and Conor McGregor. I would love to see this fight happen. And like I said, I don't think it would happen. If it does happen, there's going to be a heck of a price tag to pay to get this fight. For sure. And, I just don't know. You probably have to get you a couple buddies together. Split the beer money, split the fight money, because it's going to be expensive. But I would love to see it. And like I said, I'm actually a fan of Floyd. I wanted Floyd to beat Manny when they fought. I did. I really did. I was really disappointed in that card, though, because Manny just didn't give anything back. Floyd dominated him. That's why I'm saying Floyd dominated Manny, but he couldn't even knock him out. And he should have tried. He's going to say, no, I wasn't going to try. No, you should have tried. You should have tried to knock the man out. I'm a fan of Floyd's. The only time I wasn't ever rooting for Floyd is when he fought De La Hoya. Oscar was my boy. But Conor will knock him out. That's the end of that. Like I said, but we'll see if it ever happens. I think it will never happen for the fact that Floyd, in the back of his mind, is thinking, wow, maybe I could get knocked out by this guy. If he does catch me, if he does get lucky, and he hits me with that left, it's over. I know I'm going down. That's what Floyd's got to be thinking. I know I'm going down. Conor will do this fight. Conor, money ain't an option. He just wants to be on the same level. His attitude, thinking that he is on the same level as Floyd, which I believe they both are. They're both legends in their own sports. They're both greats. They should be on the same level. But Floyd will never think that he's on the same level as Conor. Conor will never take less than Floyd, I don't think, unless it's just very minimal. Let's say they 100 mil and Conor gets 90 mil. Fight's probably going to happen. But Dana White just offered 25 mil to them both. And there's no way... sorry. But there's no way that Floyd Mayweather is going to even take his time for 25 million. So hopefully maybe Showtime, the UFC, can get together and throw down and try to give these guys some money. It'll be a moneymaker. It'll be a moneymaker. I don't know where they're going to fight him, because remember Conor says he's not fighting in Vegas again. But, it'll be exciting. Alright guys, that's all I got to say about that right now. And I want to take you a time to remind you, please go over and follow us on Twitter, Sports Talk Cast 1. At Sports Talk Cast 1. You'll see my face on the thing. Go ahead, follow us, tweet at us, tell us what you think about this. Tell us if you think Floyd will beat Conor or you think Mystic Mac will beat Conor. Also, go on Facebook. If you go on Facebook, go find us at Sports Talk. Go up to the little search bar, type in Sports Talk, and go there, comment on there. Like our page. Go follow us. Alright. We're going to take a little quick break. I got a news alert. Alright, we're gonna wait off on this break. Broncos fans, breaking news. By the time you listen to this podcast, you're probably already gonna know. But this is what I was excited about. So this is gonna get me keep talking and no break right now, because Mike McCoy is returning to the Broncos. And I'm happy about that. You all know I love my Denver Broncos. I didn't like when Kubiak retired. I was a little sad. I like Kubes. I think he's a pretty conservative coach at times. You know, I had my last podcast, we talked about this. I went off on Cubes a little bit. But Mike McCoy is coming back, Broncos fans, to be our offensive coordinator. I'm pumped up about that. Because you remember Mike McCoy is the same guy that took Tim Tebow to the playoffs and won a playoff game, beat the Steelers, and then went on to play New England, which nobody was hanging with New England that year. McCoy has done good things with Tebow, Orton, and Manning. Pretty pumped about that, because when they hired Vance Joseph, I wasn't crazy about when they hired Vance Joseph, because Vance is defensive minded. I know Vance played quarterback and all this and has knowledge of the offense, but I really wanted young Shanahan. I wanted Kyle to come coach us. But then after watching Vance is pretty pumped up about coaching the Broncos. And I was like, okay, Vance is going to probably be all right. This might be all right. But then they let Wade Phillips go. That one hurt, because I'm a big Wade Phillips fan. I wanted Wade to stay. I'm sad to see Wade go, but thank goodness that Wade went to the Rams. Because even with the Wade Phillips-led defense, the Rams ain't going to do crap, because they're so terrible on offense. But yeah, okay, so that's got the Fox News alert on my phone that Mike McCoy has returned to the Broncos coaching staff to take on the role of offensive coordinator. I'm pretty pumped about that. I think Mike McCoy can do great things with Paxton Lynch. Trevor, I love Trev, but this should be Paxton Lynch's football team. Hopefully they change it up. They get Paxton the shotgun a little bit where he feels more comfortable. They make the offense for him and not try to make them run. That's what Gary was doing wrong, in my opinion, was making him run Gary's offense instead of trying to make him comfortable. So, pretty pumped. Mike McCoy coming back to Denver. And I also heard that Denver's in talks with Bill Musgrave for the former Oakland OC about coming in. I mean, Bill's got some ties to Denver about coming in and maybe just being a quarterback's coach too. So, pretty exciting stuff happening at Denver. A lot of sad things happening with Cubes leaving and Phillips leaving. But good things happening here in the Broncos organization. All right, I got to blow my nose like crazy. This head cold's getting me down. So we're going to take this a quick little break, and we'll be back. I said, fighting this head cold. I had a cough coming on. I still there. I had to get some water. And I also had to blow my nose. Hopefully you guys are all staying healthy out there. But this has been a awkward winter here in Tennessee. This was like 4 degrees the one day. And then it went to like 50. And then it was 60. And it's just got my allergies all messed up. I just want to be able to breathe again. Alright. I got something for you to do here. We have a giveaway. We have something to give away. It's a secret. Maybe clothing. Maybe an awesome beer mug or something like that. Maybe a bottle of whiskey. Something cool like that. But there will be something to give away. In 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks to do this. The Twitter page is alright with followers and stuff. You guys hit the Twitter page up. It's all good. Our Facebook page is having some trouble taking off. So if you go find us on Facebook, at Sports Talk Cast 1 is also our username on Facebook. If you search us that way, at Sports Talk Cast 1, or search Sports Talk, you'll see my picture pop up. Not a very good picture, but go find us on Facebook. Like our page on Facebook. Share our page on Facebook. The person in 2 weeks who gets the most traffic, the most likes from his shared post, we have a little special gift for you. We'll be in contact with you and we will send that out. I said, must be 21 probably. You're going to have to be 21 for this. If you're not 21, then we'll probably send you something else. I don't know how to come up with something else. But alright, go to Sports Talk, at Sports Talk Cast 1 on Facebook. Share it, like it. 2 weeks. Whoever gets the most likes for our page, we got something for you. Alright, last night, I watched the Nashville Predators hockey game. The Preds, who many are saying are out of the playoffs here. I don't think they're out of the playoffs yet. The Preds ain't out of the playoffs. Because here's the thing. The Preds in the Western Conference, they play in the Central Division. For you who don't know, you guys might turn it off because we're probably going to finish talking hockey. I'll get my NFL picks here at the end of this, but the Preds are in the division with the Blackhawks, the Wild, the Blues, the Stars, all A-plus hockey teams. Now, the Preds in there has 45 points this season. The only teams ahead of them in that Central Division are the Blues, the Wild, and the Blackhawks. 3 great teams. Then you go to the Pacific Division, and the teams in front of the Preds, the Ducks, great team. Sharks, great team. Oilers, getting to be a great team. Yeah, young talent on there. And the Calgary Flames. And the Kings. So, actually in the Pacific Division, pretty much almost everybody's ahead of the Predators on there. But when it comes to the wild card for the NHL, loading up here, and the wild card, the Preds are 1 point back from the Kings. 1 point back from the Kings. And my nose is starting to get the better of me. But we are 1 point back from the Kings, 1 point from the wild card. And people are saying the Preds are out of it and that the Preds need to start maybe a little bit of rebuilding. But here's the thing about the Nashville Predators fans. I watched the game last night against the Boston Bruins. And can I say, I know I complained about Tampa Bay, saying that Tampa Bay Lightning are one of the dirtiest teams in the league. I like to take that back. I'm watching the Boston Bruins last night. I believe that the Boston Bruins are a bunch of dirty little guys too. There's a lot of cheap shots on the Predators last night in that game. There was a lot of cheap shots. There was one in particular that stuck out that got the no call, which got a lot of people mad. Roman Josi got a cheap shot put on him. And then who was it? It was Victor. I think it was Victor Arvidsson, I believe. Or maybe it was Omberg. Somebody. I know that Roman Josi got a cheap shot in that game, which should have got called. Never got nothing. But then I believe it was Arvy who got into it. And the ref was up there trying to break him up. Well, the Boston player decided to stick his leg out and sweep the legs of Arvidsson out from underneath him. He fell down. The ref fell on top of him. We're like, oh, that's definitely got to be a 5-minute measure, right? Come on, ref. You seen that, right? Nothing. So, Stu, the broadcaster for the Preds, shout out to you, Stu. He even about came up out of his broadcasting chair, throwing a fit about how they got that no call. The Predators got robbed quite a few times, and they got a lot of people beat up in that game. Derek Grant, who they just signed off of waivers, say he got in a fight with McQuaid, which was dumb. Never get in a fight with McQuaid, because McQuaid he can whoop that butt. But anyhow, he got out of the game. Yossi got hurt in the game. There was seemed like Preds were going down like flies in that game. But when it came down to it, the Preds showed me what they have shown me the last 2 years, that they have hearts of champions. They stepped up their game. They went at it. They won the game 2-1. 2-1. Without having James Neal, PK Subban, Colin Wilson actually got hurt. Without Colin Wilson, Ribeiro sit that game with the injury bugging him. Without all these people, that's a major contributors to the squad. They played a very good Boston team and beat them. A lot of calls didn't go their way. They didn't get a lot of calls that they should have. Players were going down. Looked like the Preds were everybody was probably right about the Preds. That the Preds indeed was going to be, that they were indeed, this injuries are going to be too much for them to overcome this year. And, we're not into the All-Star break yet, folks, and we're only one game back from the playoffs. The thing that hurts us is that we're in the same division as the teams I named off previously, and the Blackhawks are in our same division. Will we win a division title this year? No. Will we make the wild card this year? Yes. The Preds will be back in the playoffs. Mark my words, Predators fans. The Nashville Preds will be back in the playoffs. And here's the thing. The article I was reading, I'm not going to name who wrote it. It was on Fox Sports. So it was one of their guys. I usually respect Fox Sports, but I was reading the article. And they said, the Preds just need to give it up. Too many injuries. Blah, blah, blah. Preds ain't that good. No, the Preds are good. Injuries have been a big part in this. If you go look at the Preds injury report, the injury reserve, they're beat up. They're beat up probably worse than any other team in the conference. Maybe in the whole NHL. I don't follow the Eastern Conference much. But the Predators still have heart of champions. They have hearts of champions. Ryan Ellis, Victor Arvidsson, Austin Watson has came on to it. Ryan Johansson has came on to it. Them guys have hearts of champions. Yarnik Weber showed a heart of a champion. These guys want to win a championship and bring that Lord Stanley Cup to Nashville. So this is why I'm going to disagree with the guy. Get back to how he wrote the article here. I get a little sidetracked when I talk Preds. This team, we have a good team. Anybody that says the Predators ain't got a good team, they're crazy. Anybody that says that Nashville within the next 4 years will not be hoisting Lord Stanley Cup is even crazy. I'm not going to put it up that we won't be going down Broadway with Lord Stanley Cup this year. But he said that the Preds can't go out west. When they're a wild card, they travel out west. They don't get that many home games because they're not high enough seed. They're always a low seed. Here's the thing. Pretty sure we went out there and beat the Anaheim Ducks on the West Coast. Won that series. Pretty sure that we pushed the San Jose Sharks to the brink. Yes, it did look at the end of that game that Shea Weber, who was a big part of that series, and Pekka Rinne, who was a big part of the playoff run that we had, was just wore out. Just tired, done. From Nashville to the West Coast, to Nashville, to Cali. It did start to wear them out, but that's the thing why they moved Shea. It was very hard, I bet you, for the Predators to move Shea and bring in PK, but PK is younger. The Preds are a very young team, all in all. But here's the thing, too, that was helped the Preds. If you watched the game last night, too, you seen Saros. Now I'm going to try to pronounce your first name, Saros. But you seen Saros put on a whale of a freaking game. He had so many great block shots, stopped so many goals that should have been in. There was some cat-like reflex move that he put in as, I believe, it was McQuaid. I can't remember who it was. I ain't too familiar with too many Boston players, but was coming down the right side of the ice and shot it, went off, came back to Boston forward, flung it back to the left to try to get it to go in, and it looked like it should have been going in, but Saros just came out of nowhere, stuck the blocker out there, bam, blocked it. Saros had the game of his career, if I've ever witnessed it, last night against the Boston Bruins. This is what hurt the Predators whenever they played previously. They had all 17 games that they played in the playoffs. Pecorine started all of them. No offense to Carter Hutton, but they didn't trust Hutt to throw him out there in a playoff game. But here's the thing, if Saros keeps playing lights out like this, Pekka's going to get more rest. And I'm going to throw Saros out there for a playoff game. Giving Pekka a rest would be great. Pekka was getting burnt out in those playoff games. Pekka's getting age on him. He's not the young guy that he used to be. So you put Saros out there more. Throw Saros in a playoff game or two. Let Pekka get a break. Saros can handle his own. Shea, as bad as I had to say it, didn't want to see Shea go, but you upgraded. Yes, PK Subban's hurt right now, but you can't say that they didn't upgrade from an middle-aged 30-year-old Shea Weber to a 28-year-old PK Subban. That's an upgrade, Preds fans. That's an upgrade. Younger. Ryan Johansson, better shape than when he was last year. Had trouble getting in shape in Columbus. Half the reason that they traded him off. Didn't really get along with John Tortorella. Now, Johansson's in great shape. Here's the thing. The All-Star break's coming up. The All-Star break is coming up. With people like Austin Watson, Victor Arvidsson, Ryan Johansson, Colin Wilson. Who am I leaving out here? Forsberg, James Neal. Get those guys healthy. The forward line, the forwards and the centers are going to be great. A lot of good, young talent there. Get them all healthy. After the All-Star break, PK Subban should come back. Hopefully Roman, I haven't got to hear what happened to Roman, but hopefully Roman's not injured that bad and Roman's back. Roman Ellis, PK Subban. That's a bunch of young core talent, guys. I'm going to give one more shot to Victor Arvidsson. Arvi has been the outstanding. Okay, the Preds gave away an MVP award, and I was like, I'll give it to Johansson, and they gave it to Arvi. And then I got looking about all what Arvi's done this season, and I was like, yeah, that's the right call. Give it to Arvi, because Arvi deserves it. But yeah. So, Predators fans, don't worry. We're going to make the playoffs. It's going to be all right. All right, we're down. We're going to have to get off of this. But we are down to our last couple minutes here. And we're going to go in and go ahead and do the NFL picks for Saturday and Sunday for the playoffs. Here's what I got. Seattle travels to Atlanta. Atlanta, I hope that you win. So I think some of the reason that John Elway hired Vance Joseph, even though I think Vance Joseph will do very well, I really wanted Kyle, but I don't think that the Broncos organization wanted to wait for Kyle. Because the Falcons, I think they'll beat Seattle, and they're going to go on, and you still wouldn't be able to hire Kyle Shanahan if you was the Broncos. So I think John knew that. So I got Atlanta beating Seattle. New England beating Houston. People think, oh, maybe that's not going to happen, but that's what I got. New England beating Houston. And then we come to Sunday's matchup. Pittsburgh game has been moved, I've heard, from it was supposed to be like 1 o'clock, but now it's going to be a 7:20 game because of ice. That plays in to Pittsburgh's favor, too, because Pittsburgh's played in some crappy weather in Pennsylvania. And I think Pittsburgh will beat Kansas City. I think they will. I think the defense will get to Alex Smith. I think they'll have a way to stop Tyreek Evans. I think Pittsburgh, as bad as it pains me to say it, will beat Kansas City. And you'll have Pittsburgh and New England in the championship game. And then joining Atlanta in the championship game, I got the Cowboys holding it together to beat Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers, you played too good for far too long here at the end of this season. You won, 7 straight? I think Zeke and the boys, I'm pulling for Zeke. Since my Broncos ain't in it, I'll be pulling for Zeke. I'm pulling for Kyle Shanahan in Atlanta. So either which one of those teams make it, because I ain't going to root for Pittsburgh and I'm not going to root for New England. So whoever makes it, I'm going to root for the NFC team, as long as it's not Green Bay. Alright, everybody, that's all I got. Like I said, just a reminder that the Spreaker Studio does not own, copyright any of the music, advertisements, any sound effects that we own, nor does Sports Talk with Brendan Travis have any copyright or ownership of any of the ads, music, or videos, sound clips that are used in this production. Man, I need to just put that on the auto record and hit that thing and just be like, ready, school's out. Oh. Finally. The soundboard went a little funny there. Alright, guys, that's all I got. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.
I put it all on the line and pray that God gets me through it. I came in with nothing and now I'm one of the greatest to do it. This is my victory music. This is my victory music.
I like the way this feels, man. Kills, bring it back to the map. Right up in the middle of it's where you finding me at. Labels wanna holler, this is where they signing me at. Cause my city told